Welcome back to Smash Bros. Ultimate. So, today we're going to be crossing this bridge, and the first spirit we encounter is Soth from Fire Emblem, Path of Radiance, and Radiant Dawn. Soth, as a character, is quite an interesting one, because in the original game, he's honestly kind of crap. He's a thief who cannot promote to assassin, and yeah, by the time you get like 3/4 of the way through the game, he'll get one shot by everything, so it's not really worth using him. However, in the sequel game, Soth, now a little bit older, becomes one of the most vital characters. He is essentially a secondary protagonist behind Micaiah, so yeah, he kind of ascends to become more of an important figure. And he's being played by Sheik to represent his, you know, thievery and such. And the fact that he finally can become an assassin in these second games, so... Moving on, we have Samus, the actual Samus, in her power suits. So Samus is the main protagonist of the Metroid games, the first one being Metroid for the NES. And for people playing that game for the first time ever, and I apologize, this is going to be the most basic thing ever for, oh, so many of you who are into video games, but yeah, it wasn't clear to the player that Samus was even a woman. As far as you could see, you were just playing as a robot, basically, so by completing the game quickly enough, you could eventually get a secret ending where she takes off her power suit and reveals that she is in fact a badass woman bounty hunter, so yeah, that kind of endeared her to a lot of people, and she's honestly one of the, you know, best woman characters in gaming, so yeah, she's awesome as heck. Other M arguably kind of ruined her character somewhat by taking away a lot of her independence, but we don't talk about Other M. Anyway, she comes into Smash Bros. Equipped with all of her different projectile shots, be it her charge beam or her missiles, and yeah, she's probably one of the more annoying characters to play against. If you play against a good Samus, you're gonna have a rough time. So, there she is, joining the battle. Took her on with Olimar because, you know, why not fight a space bounty hunter with a spaceman? And, ooh. Oh, I don't think Galeem liked that. Oh, I see what he's doing. Setting up a new dungeon for me. Okay, okay. This is fine. I don't mind that. Shouldn't take me too long to work my way down there and, wreck some shit. Alrighty, so, getting back to the grind, our next spirits we're gonna go for is in this Pac-Man maze. We have Orbulon from WarioWare. Orbulon is well, he's an alien, appearing in the WarioWare series. He rides around in a little pig-shaped ship, and he is incredibly prone to crashing, hence why we have this Mewtwo constantly slamming into the ground to deal falling damage to me. So, another cool thing about this fight is the Starman appearing in and taking pot shots at me. Gives me the idea that Orbulon has, like, a bunch of alien homeboys ready to assist him. I'm actually doing pretty badly in this fight, so I'm gonna have to cheese this one. Or at least just play more cautiously, because, yeah, poor 5-volt here was not doing great. So, smashed away that Starman. Just need to get my little pot shots on. And when the time is right, deal a nice, hefty finishing blow. Can I fish him up? I can fish him up. There we are. And that is Orbulon. That stops us from getting reverse controls. Again, would have been very helpful when we fought against Ashley. What can you do? Anyway, let's do some warping around this Pac-Man maze. Ooh, this looks like it's going to get very confusing very quickly, but I'm going to try and clear the whole thing anyway, so no biggie. So, next up, we're going to go against Eddie. Eddie appears in the game Hydro Venture, or fluidity as it's called in the US. And this game was a 3DS physics platformer in which you had to essentially allow water to go through pipes. So for this level, we have the electroplankton stage because, you know, electroplankton itself is kind of a kitschy one-off puzzle game. But more so for the watery appearance of the stage with the bubbles in the background and the water at the bottom. Now the top because of the flipping screen. And yeah, it should go without saying, but the flipping screen is to do with how in the game fluidity, or, you know, hydroventure, you can use physics to move the water around. Anyway, get dead, Eddie. No more Eddie. That boosts our water and ice attacks, which... kind of redundant, because most of the water attacks in this game don't do damage. Squirtle's water gun definitely doesn't. Mario's flood doesn't. Very few do. So, next up we have Bubbles. Bubbles is the main protagonist of the game Clu Clu Land. See that? I said it right this time. So, there's not much to Bubbles as a character, because Bubbles' whole deal is that they would fly around the stage and would have to grab onto poles in order to change their direction. So, to get that simplicity across, we have Pac-Man playing Bubbles, which not only works visually, but kind of works in the fact that Clu Clu Land kind of feels a little Pac-Man-esque in its, you know, game design. And, yeah, we're currently playing on the 25-meter stage, because the red and black aesthetic is quite prominent in Clu Clu Land. Also Uneras, just Uneras goddamn everywhere, making the fight really, really frustrating, but can also be used to advantage. So, hey. Bubbles gives us the screw attack, which makes sense considering that Bubbles is all about flying around and spinning around, all that jazz. Here is Donkey Kong Jr. DK Jr. is the protagonist of his own game, in which he had to save his father from Mario. It was like the one game where Mario, or Jumpman as he was called back then, was actually the bad guy, so that's pretty wild. Nintendo haven't really done that since, because, you know, can't blemish the squeaky clean mascot. But, yeah, you know what? If we're going to break into the Kong family tree, if the original Donkey Kong was Cranky, and Cranky is DK's granddad, that makes DK Jr. Donkey Kong's dad. And, you know what? As a character, he's kind of an enigma, because his last appearance was in Super Mario Kart, if I remember correctly, and since then, Nintendo have just kind of dropped him. Since Rare rebooted Donkey Kong, so to speak, we've not had any kind of inclination that DK Jr. is even a thing. I think Diddy kind of replaced him, but out of respect, they've not had Diddy in to play him on this particular fight, so yeah. Anyway, this fight can be kind of tricky because you have the two very big Kongs, and they really do know how to throw their weight around, so you just got to get aggressive on this one. Just get in there, try and slam dunk him if you can. Yeah, that'll do it. So, the DK Jr. Spirit gets us the strong throw ability, which makes sense, as climbing all those vines would probably give you quite a bit of muscle. Quite a strong little chappy, that DK Jr. And, moving on, the next spirit we're going to face is Prince Richard. Prince Richard is the rival of the protagonist of the game The Frog for Whom the Bell Tolls, a Game Boy action RPG. Because said game is on the Game Boy, we're playing on the Game Boy stage, which, that's cute. And on top of that, we have the Prince here being assisted by the actual protagonist of said game. So, yeah, they're quite a good combo, they're quite a good team. As you can see, the Prince on the left there is transforming it into a frog and a snake, which is something he could do in that game. And, yeah, that's making it kind of tricky for me right now, so, yeah. Now, I'm not quite sure why the enemy gets temporary invincibility. I'm going to assume that's because you know, as the rival in the game, maybe he's given a couple of buffs or advantages against the player character. But that's just a shot in the dark. Anyway, there he is, Prince Richard. He's a good 3-star spirit. Not bad at all. And moving on from him, we can go and check this treasure chest containing Street Smash music. Oh boy. Do you remember Street Smash? Everyone's favourite Super Smash Bros. Feature. It was like Pogs and Beyblades rolled into one. Anyway, here is Rotom. Rotom is a Pokemon from Generation 4. Although, it wasn't until Generation 7 that Rotoms became integral to the Pokemon series, serving as the animated Pokédexes. Rotom is an electric ghost-type Pokemon and is therefore able to possess any electronic device. Pokédexes and computers included, so yeah, for that reason, Rotom is one of the few Pokemon who can talk, so to speak. Speaking to you through the interface of whatever it is currently possessing. And that is pretty dang neat. Anyway, there's Rotom. It's in its base form, not possessing, like, a fridge or a fan or an oven or any of the things it can possess, so not too tricky of a battle. Here is the Devil, Satan himself, the main antagonist of the Bible. Or, more accurately, the main antagonist of Devil World. So, we've seen the Tamagon spirit before, so this is basically an extension of that. And yeah, we have the two little Kirbys there serving as obstacles, which Tamagon would have to avoid. Ridley is standing in as Tamagon. And yeah, we have the Devil itself appearing as an assist trophy, moving the stage around in a way that makes it really awkward to see what the hell is going on, which is kind of what he would do in the game Devil World as well, so yeah, pretty tricky battle, all things considered, but with the power of Christ on my side, I think I've got this one. For Jesus! And there's the Devil. It's so surreal knowing that the Devil is in this game, even if he is a schlumpy devil wearing red underwear. Anyway, moving on. We have the Sidestepper. From before Koopas and Goombas were even a thing, Mario and Luigi would have to deal with these little buggers and their tendency to block up sewage pipes. So Sidesteppers were basically little crabs that would walk around. You would have to generally knock them twice in order to flip them upside down and then use them as weapons. Although after knocking them the first time, they do get angry, which makes them quicker. And God help you if you knock them over and then don't proceed to kill them, because they'll get up and they'll be super goddamn ragey and really goddamn fast. So, yeah. You'll always want to be careful with the Sidesteppers. The reason that this battle is basically two different waves of Game & Watches going from red to blue is a way of representing how Sidesteppers, as I just said, increase in difficulty as they get angrier, and also in colour as you proceed through the game. The game being Mario Bros, of course. I should probably have clarified that. Anyway, that gives us trade-off speed, so when we take damage, we get faster. Again, literally how Sidesteppers work. Not that it's really a good spirit at this point. Here is Nikki. Nikki is the mascot of the 3DS messenger app, Swapnote. Do y'all remember PictoChat? Swapnote was the spiritual successor that we sadly never got in the West, and I'm really sad about that because, yeah, PictoChat was my shit. I would spend so many hours just doodling bullshit in that, so, yeah. And when you go on Twitter as well, there are so many artists who have made such amazing things with Swapnote. It is unreal, so, yeah, Nikki herself is appearing in this battle as an assist trophy, doing little drawings, one of them being of the Smash Ball, and yes, it does work as a Smash Ball. Get dunked on. And get even more dunked on. Goodbye. Easy win. So that is Nikki. She gives us shield durability. Not quite sure as to why on that one, but whatever. And we have another spirit, Mr. Game & Watch. Game & Watch first appeared in the Smash series with Super Smash Bros. Melee, and so many people were so confused. What is this character? He's like an LCD Tiger Electronics character. Well, yes and no. Game & Watch is the character used in Nintendo's Game & Watch games. Released in the 80s? Before the NES, before Mario, before any of that. You had the Game & Watches by Nintendo. They were basically a bunch of watches and also a bunch of handheld games which would use LCD screens to let you play little mini-games. Personally, my only exposure to the Game & Watch series is with the Game Boy game, Game Boy Gallery. But my mum, on the other hand, is massively into Snoopy Tennis. One of the Game & Watch games, one of the licensed ones, obviously. She actually got the Snoopy Tennis Game & Watch for a present a couple of years ago, and she played it for hours. So, yeah. In all fairness, they are really goddamn addictive. So, getting back on track, our next spirit is Bullet Bill from the Super Mario series. First appearing in Super Mario Bros., Bullet Bills are fired from cannons. And yeah, they fly from left to right. You can jump on top of them. Just don't get hit by them because you will get completely effed up for doing so. And yeah, in 3D Mario games, they can actually hone in on you, making them a little more challenging to deal with. And speaking of challenging, this fight is just an absolute crapshoot. Honestly, it's just a case of don't get killed by a Bullet Bill. And try and counteract their Bullet Bills with your own. Get to the Bullet Bills before they do. There we go. Yeah. They can be enhanced. I'm not going to reward you for guessing what they get enhanced into, because it's kind of obvious if you know your Mario. But next up, we have the Grim Leechers. Grim Leechers appear in the Yoshi's Island series. I think in Yoshi's Island itself. Their gimmick is that they float up to you and latch onto you, reversing your controls. So this might be one of the most accurate spirit battles in the entire game, because that's literally what happens. Unfortunately, I'm used to having my controls reversed now, and that doesn't bother me as much. The Ashley fight forced me to get good at that. So yeah. Alright, we have a little pipe here, so we're going to take a little diversion before we head down towards that island. And on the other side of that pipe, we get... some kind of mystery cloud world. Well, while we're here, here is Warts, who himself appears in a dream in Super Mario Bros. 2. Wart is the main antagonist of that game. Sadly, we haven't seen him since that game, probably because he's a figment of Mario's imagination. But, yeah, Wart is a big angry toad, and he's allergic to vegetables, so in order to defeat him, you have to throw vegetables into his mouth. Now, in order to represent that, we have Peach here, who is spamming the vegetable item, which, you know, I could use to pick those up and throw them at Warts. But more prominently, we have the Sleepy Floor. The floor will put you to sleep to represent the fact that Super Mario Bros. 2 is just Mario's dream. And when I say 2, for all the pedants out there, I am referring to the Western Super Mario Bros. 2. You know, Doki Doki Panic. That one. Anyway, there he is. What? The, I said he's a toad. I don't know if he's a frog or a toad. He's one of the two. But yeah, there he is. So, next up we have the Flying Man from Earthbound. So, in both Mother 1 and Mother 2, you can find these fellows in Magicant, the dream worlds, and they will actually join your party. However, they are incredibly temporary, because if they fall in battle, you can't revive them. They're just dead. And I don't mean that as like a cute little thing. If you go back to Magicant, you can find a gravestone of the flying man who died. And you can recruit 4 more of them. And they can all die as well. So, yeah, you can just kill this entire family of would-be heroes in your Earthbound campaign. And, yeah, to represent that, we have a shitload of flying men who will appear in one after the other as soon as I defeat the first one there. We have Ness, who's accompanying them. But he's not going to be particularly hard to beat, all things considered, because AI does not know how to deal with this stage if you go down to the bottom. And generally, on this level, the flying men will actually appear on the top right, not as a meat brawler, but as a stage hazard, an interactable stage hazard. And the same rule applies. If you take one of them out, a gravestone will appear on the top right platform. If you take out 5 of them, no more will appear. They are dead. So, yeah, kind of sucks to be one of the flying men, honestly. Just a really, really cursed existence right there. And, oh, I am not doing amazingly well, considering I've still got to beat 2 more of these fellows. So, you know what? No fucking shame. I'm just going to cheese this. Can't even land a final smash on him. Alright, I am gonna just get some cheap shots in, and I'm gonna sit down here and wait to get my victory. Oh, fuck, he's not even... Oh, God! He's actually chasing me down here. Usually the AI doesn't know what to do when I go down there. That's scary. Oh, that's frightening. I'm gonna try and camp again. Back to camping. Alright, this one's not as clever. This one hasn't quite got it. He doesn't know what's going on. Yes, he does. No, he doesn't. Ooh. Get out! Get off my safe little platform, you! I'm gonna punch you right in the dick until you're dead. And come on, nearly there. Just need to jump up with my nice little hops. And dead. There we go, 1 more to go. Yeah, that really is just this battle. Just camp at the bottom, let them come to you. Because no, you cannot drop through that top platform. And don't get punched to death, which is my new port of call. Oh, fuck. I'm getting punched to death. I specifically said not to do that. It's a good thing that was piss damage, because if it wasn't, that would have been upsetting for me. Come on now. Come on. Just need you to be dead. 1 more hit will do it. 1 more hit. There he goes. Ooh, that battle doesn't half go on. So, they are the flying men from Earthbound. And by defeating them, we get access to an Earthbound... I was about to say spirit, an Earthbound character, Ness. So Ness is the main protagonist of Mother 2, or just Earthbound. And yeah, he's just a normal kid, goes out on an adventure, unlocks hidden, latent psychic powers within him, and destroys a death god. Pretty basic fare. So, yeah, in the Super Smash Bros. Series, he's been around since the beginning. He was a secret character in the first Smash Bros. Game. And, yeah, when that game first came out, a lot of people were like, who the hell is Ness? Because Earthbound wasn't massively popular in the West. But yeah, no, since then he's become a lot more of a cult character, you know, with a massive fan base behind him. And, yeah, since then we've had Lucas join Smash Bros. As well, being the protagonist of Mother 3, so... that leaves 1 more, Nintendo. Honestly, I would be pretty goddamn jazzed if Ninten from the original Earthbound, or Mother, was, like, entered into Smash Bros. But here's the rub, here's what I want for him. Because neither Ness nor Lucas are actually damage dealers in battle, they are healers. Their psychic powers are generally based around healing, so... I'd like Ninten to be that. The character who can, like, heal allies in team battles and heal himself if things get too rough. Obviously, like, nerf his actual damage capabilities to balance that out, but... yeah, to have him be the one character in Smash who can heal? Like, you know, reliably? I don't know, I think that would be a cool idea. Anyway, he dead. Ness is dead, anyway. Spent most of that talking about Ninten, sorry. And, yeah, there we go. So, moving on, let's continue on through this dream world. Here is Dintos. Dintos is the god of the forge, appearing in the Kid Icarus series. He is the creator of most of the legendary weapons featured in that series. And he's also a master in this game. When you train under him, he makes you bad at everything except using items. And personally, I think he's the most rubbish master in this game. Sure, maybe there are some levels where items are super abundant and you could just spam them and overuse them and get easy wins with them, but yeah, no, more often than not, I'm not feeling it with that particular training session, that particular seminar, so yeah. Anyway, all of the items spawning right now are generally explosives or items from Kid Icarus, and that is pretty dope. That is pretty goddamn neat. It also makes for a very quick battle, generally, because lots of explosions will generally lead to lots of quick deaths. So will losing your hammerheads at the worst possible time. Ah, fuck. That could have been really good. If I finished you off with that, though, that would have been a quick and easy win. Oh boy, this guy. He's actually tanking a lot of this, I've got to say. I've got to give him props. Didn't tank that, though. Did not tank that at all. Kind of fucked him up, that one. Here's my hammer. My one ain't gonna miss. Fuck. It won't miss, but... oh, Jesus. Okay, this is a clumsy one. Alright, me winning this is now just gonna be a straight up luck fest. Come on. Another hammer. More hammers for me. There we go. And whatever I do, don't hit that bomb. That bomb would have destroyed me. Whew. Clumsy, but still did it. I'll take that, whatever. Who needs to re-record? Whatevs. It's fine. Anyway, he gives us the equipment style, which, as I mentioned, is kinda crap. Yeah, literally just weakens you at everything that you do yourself, and makes items better. I've met a lot of people online who would love that boon, because all they use is goddamn items, but I ain't one of those people, so, cannot cross that rainbow bridge yet, so let's get back to where we were going. Next spirit we're going to go and get is down here. We have the Blooper. Bloopers are enemies appearing in the Mario series, first appearing in Super Mario Bros. They jellyfish. Wait, what the fuck am I talking about? They're squids. They're squids. They squids. So, yeah, they're being played by the Inklings, because they are also squids. And I kind of love this fight. In this fight, you're on Isle Delfino, so the most watery of the Mario levels. And on top of that, there's low gravity to represent how in the water levels in Mario Bros, you are essentially just kind of floating around. And the bloopers themselves will spend a lot of their time blooping around, just floating up into the air. So that's kind of what this battle descends into, is them floating about and you trying desperately to take them out. Preferably when they're about to land on the floor, because they will take advantage of their buoyancy in this fight by stalling out the timer. Anyway, just one more to do now. Just need to get him. Yeah, survive that. Boosh. And that is the blooper. That lowers our weight, allowing us to float around ourselves. And the next spirit we're going to take on is... oh, hello. Okay, can't go across there until I get a surfing Pokemon, preferably Lapras. So, here is the Urban Champion Fighter, one of the characters from Urban Champion. Urban Champion is the most basic side-scrolling fighter game I think I've ever played. I mean, technically it's more of a fighting game, but as soon as you've beaten up your opponent, you then just walk right onto the next one, so... Yeah, yeah, this fight is just super goddamn easy, kind of like Urban Champion. So easy, it's kind of boring, in fact. Just like Urban Champion. And that's it, there he is. There's not really much more to say than that. He was even being played by Little Mac to represent the fact that he is, for all intents and purposes, just a guy. And not a particularly experienced fighter like Ryu. Anyway, here is the Shine Sprite. This fight took me fucking ages. Because it's almost entirely luck-based. Shine Sprites are the spirits that look over Isle Delfino. And Super Mario Sunshine is all about retrieving all the Shine Sprites so that the island can return to its natural splendor. So for this fight, we have Rosalina, who's representing the Shine Sprites themselves. And she has her Grand Star's final smash, with the Grand Star being Galaxy's version of the Shine Sprites. And we also get these Kirbys who come in and give me a rough time. The Kirbys represent the red, blue, and yellow coins. The 3 different types of coins you can collect in Sunshine, with the blues and the reds all being pretty much mandatory to get in order to get every single Shine Sprite. I have still to this day never 100%ed Super Mario Sunshine, and fuck you for even suggesting that I do it, because that game is the most brutally difficult Mario game. And yeah, for this fight, you just want to try and get the invincibility when you can. Deal damage to the little coin Kirbys when you can. And if you get a chance, slam dunk Rosalina. I won't embarrass myself by telling you how many attempts that took me. It was more than 20. Anyway, here is King Hippo. So King Hippo appears in the Punch-Out series. He's the king of Hippo Islands. Make of that what you will. I'm sure you can't guess his weak spot, so I'm just going to have to explain it to you. It's his belly. It's the bit of tape directly on his belly. So y'all have to punch that in order to take him out. Now, what is clever about that is that in Punch-Out for the Wii, King Hippo returns, and he's wearing a manhole cover on his belly in order to give himself shielding. So you have to punch the tape holding the manhole cover to his tummy in order to get to his belly and then beat him up. That is hilarious. I'm sorry, that is like my favorite goddamn thing in Punch-Out. So yeah, here we have a treasure chest containing some Splatoon music. Still haven't played any Splatoon, as good as I know it is. Here is Protoman.EXE, appearing in Mega Man Battle Network 5. So, Protoman.EXE is owned by Eugene Childs. Now, just to clarify, the Battle Network games are games where you play as kids who use their online avatars in order to, you know, hack things and fight people across the internet. And the online avatars are all Mega Man characters, so yeah. It's one of the weirdest Mega Man spin-offs. It is Mega Man in name only, pretty much, but hey. It's still a really goddamn fun game, so yeah. In fact, you know what? I would love if there was, like, a Mega Man Battle Network stage in Smash. Like, I know we've already got a Mega Man stage, we've got Wily's Castle, but a stage to represent Battle Network and the weird way that you had to fight on grids in that game. I don't know how it could be done in a way that isn't super frustrating for competitive players, but when's that ever stopped you before? Let's do it. Let's just go all in with that. Anyway, yeah, Protoman is being played by Shulk here, who already has a goddamn laser sword with his Monado, but is coming at me with an actual beam sword on top of that. So I just need to find my opportunity to deliver a good finishing blow on him. And you know what? I think that opportunity is right here. That is Protoman.EXE. 3-star spirit, boosts our sword capabilities. Cool beans. Alrighty, so, a little bit of warpage, back into the Pac-Man maze. Actually, let's not do that. Let's just stay down here for now. We'll get back to the maze later. Here are the NintenDaan cheerleaders. So, we've met the Elite Beat agents, we've met the Elite Beat divas. I think we've met them, I'm pretty sure we met them. So, here are the NintenDaan cheerleaders. Same as before, you basically play a, rhythm minigame on your DS's touchscreen. And while you do that, the cheerleaders inspire whoever needs helping. To represent the three of them, we have three Isabels who are spamming their neutral A, which is to literally wave around a pair of cheerleader pom-poms. And if not for the fact that enemies love hive-minding in this game, this fight wouldn't be too bad, because Isabel's neutral air is not a kill move, so to speak. That's probably why their attack increases over time, because, yeah, that gives them a fighting chance against me. And also it represents how cheerleaders can bolster people and inspire people to do sports good. Anyway, just need to get some hits in. The choice of Pokemon Stadium for this fight, by the way, was kind of inspired, because, you know, the stadium is where you're most likely to see sports and cheerleaders by proxy. And, time to get chonked! Nobody can defeat the chonk. You were foolish to even try. So, that is the, cheerleaders. And, you may have noticed I was playing that with my, Rhythm Heaven boys. Rhythm game versus rhythm game. Oh! Here's Lapras! I literally just needed you. So, yeah, Lapras, introduced in Generation 1, is a Water and Ice-type Pokemon. And it's kind of the poster child for the game's surf mechanic. So, yeah, with a Lapras, you would basically be able to swim around on any body of water, giving you access to several remote islands, depending on which Pokemon game you're playing. And, yeah, in the Pokemon anime, Ash had a Lapras for a little while. It was dope. It was adorable. He had to get rid of it like he does with so many of his Pokemon. So, yeah, I'm still sad about that. I love that goddamn thing. Anyway, for this fight, we have the Ice Climbers to represent Lapras' ice typing. My buoyancy is reduced, and I will instantly drown if I hit the water, to represent the fact that you can't swim in Pokemon without a Pokemon helping you. Or at least you couldn't back then. You can nowadays, with HMs being removed. And, yeah, other than that, this is a pretty simple battle. One last thing to mention about Lapras as a Pokemon is the fact that one is used by Lorelei, one of the Elite Four members in Generation 1. That goddamn Lapras, with its blizzards, claimed so many inexperienced players. Like, it's not even funny how beastly Lapras is in Generation 1, so... yeah, really good Mon. Also used by Red, of all characters. Like, canonically the best Pokemon trainer in the series. So, yeah, good Pokemon right there. Even if it doesn't really match up in the metagame, so to speak, you know, it's still pretty decent. Still a good Mon. Alright, well, we can now take to that ocean right there, allowing us towards the island where our next dungeon is. But first, here is Sheldon. Sheldon is one of the shop owners that I want to get in this game. And in the Splatoon series, Sheldon runs a weapon store named, get this, Ammo Knights. The fucking fish puns, though. Splatoon, though. With the goddamn fish puns. Anyway, Sheldon himself is a horseshoe crab. I'm sure some of you are thanking me for explaining that, because it's really hard to tell what he is just by looking at him. But, yeah, this battle is just straight up Splatoon. It's just fucking projectiles everywhere. There's so many goddamn guns and bullets, and... yeah, wow. It's just goddamn chaos, honestly. At first, I was intent on using Game & Watch's bucket move in order to pick up the projectiles and throw them back, but there are too many, so yeah, after a while, I just had to start resorting to playing them at their own game, grabbing weapons and shooting them back. Because, like, woof though. And yeah, when your bucket picks up weak projectiles, it doesn't even do good damage, so yeah, I'm not even finishing them off. Here we go. Get octopused. Oh, that didn't even. Okay, let's try it again. Get octopused. There we go. That's better. I got most of them. And last of all, we blow you away. Nope. No, you don't. You stay off. Cheap win. Easy win. I'll take it. So that is Sheldon, and in Smash Ultimate, he opens what is basically a mech store. A store where you can buy goddamn mechs. So yeah, that's kind of a funny image, that he's selling me bombs and literally a Metal Gear. This weird little horseshoe crab has access to WMDs. I'll take it, whatever. So that last item was the Subspace Bomb from the Subspace Emissary campaign in Super Smash Bros. Brawl. There's a gecko. We'll get that elsewhere. And with that, that is all the spirits we're going to get today. Before we finish up, though, there is one more thing I want to do. I want to quickly get my summon on. So, by putting together Rotom and Elecman, 2 electric spirits, we get the Goddess of Electricity from Kid Icarus. We get Phosphora. She's pretty goddamn dope, and she appears in Ultimate as an assist trophy, throwing electricity everywhere. So that is that. And on top of that, by combining all of these big strong boys, we can make Super Macho Man from Punch-Out. Super Macho Man is a Californian boxer and is the final boss of Super Punch-Out and one of the endgame bosses from Punch-Out for the Wii. He's pretty goddamn strong, hence his legend status. So yeah, he's not to be trifled with. And on top of that, by putting together Hakun and Eddie, we get a very strange spirit. We get an enemy from the Pikmin series, who is also the final boss of Pikmin 3. We get the Plasma Wraith, so make of that what you will. See you next time.